What's going on, everyone? It is your girl, Queen Queen, and thank you for joining me on my podcast. I really appreciate it. We will be discussing many topics and things like celebrity gossip, politics, life lessons, and etc. Please think of me as that homegirl that you've been knowing for years. Remember, the motto is never judge a book by its cover before opening it up and reading it, and agree to disagree. Just stand on what you're saying, period. So sit back, relax, please like, share, comment, give feedback because remember, this show is for the people. Love, peace, and unity. Mwah. What's going on? It is your girl, Queen Queen, and this is Hot Topics. Wow, it's been a minute, but let's get on into it. So, the first topic of today, I'm so sorry about that, you guys. I gotta brush up on my skills. 3.3 million scheme. A woman arrested for running a legal business claiming to fix customer credit issues. Basically, a lady that was into credit repair, and let's get into the story. Let's see what they had to say.
Woman accused of defrauding financial institutions of more than $3.3 million. 29-year-old Rokisha Brisby is now charged with 2 counts of forgery of a financial instrument. According to Harris County Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman, customers would request help from Brisby at Rose Credit Repair in North Harris County. That Brisby would then forge law enforcement documents and send them to financial institutions saying the transactions were fraudulent and not the customer's fault. Constable Herman saying Brisby did this at least 133 times over a 2-year period, and that one financial institution eventually became suspicious, reporting her to authorities.
She used my front page of the police report with my name on it to submit to these institutions. But there are other law enforcement agencies that we feel strongly she has used their reports too.
Any customer who may have worked with Brisby is urged to contact authorities. Right now, Brisby is still behind bars awaiting her first court appearance. If found guilty, she faces 5 to 99 years in prison. Woman accused of defrauding financial.
All right, so that was the first topic. The lady, so what do you guys think about this? Because she basically advertised herself as a credit repair person, and then she got into the business. She did help out a lot of people. Now the people are saying, let her go, free her, because all she did was help people get houses and cars and stuff like that. But then on the other hand, it's definitely fraud, because one thing about it, the system do not like for you to get over, especially over on them. And you a black woman, no shade, no tea, but you already know they really feel bamboozled and they are going to make her do some time. What do you guys think about the credit repair system? Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people are doing credit repair. I have always been skeptical about the situation. Not to say all of them is out there crooks. I really do think people really do help you with your credit, but I personally, especially the ones that are too flashy, like not trying to be funny, you got these long nails, long bundles, you don't even have a certificate, a legitimate certificate, or ever even went to school, and next thing you're over people information and you doing stuff like that. Now I'm not trying to be funny and be like, just you have to graduate and go to a certain school to even make it, because there's people out here that's literally only thing they can, you show them something, they got it ASAP. So that's not the question, but it's just the fact that when you're dealing with people's social security, when you're dealing with people's personal information, and then when I look deeper into this story, it really was worse, because not only did she do this, but it was a lot of people that got screwed over in the process, because like I said, for instance, she was using one person, I think, police report of how they identity theft or something like that. One of her clients actually had a police report and won her case. So it was kind of like she used her paperwork, and then on top of that, it was like she kept on reusing this same paperwork, just changing the name. So that's the reason why the man was like putting it out there, like she used, my name at the top, she was using my letterhead or something like that. And it's just really bad because what people fail to realize, especially when I look deeper into it, all those people credits, the people that she did get over and they paid her some money, because it was a woman that came out and said she spent over $600 and some with her, and her credit never moved or nothing like that. And then you also have these people that she did help get their credit up to a certain number. Now these people, these institutions and all these places that she had to write those letters to, and she was awarded and got that stuff out there, people credit, they are now backtracking and going back on all her fails. So all these people credit and stuff like that she helped and she did and stuff like that, your credit score is going back down. It's going back down. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to look bad on you, because the simple fact is that you did authorize her to say or speak on your behalf. So if you was at a 7 or the 800 club, if you did get that house and different stuff like that, all I got to do is say a prayer. And then, not trying to be funny, what really kind of the twist to this also was not only because of the details behind the scene, let me give y'all the scoop. So they basically said, she kind of like she was gone for a minute. Then she came back and revamped herself, and then all of a sudden she was a credit repair person, and she just got on. She started, doing it. You know what I'm saying? Getting the business, everything flowing, social media popping. But in reality, they were saying that prior to that, and that's the reason why she's locked up also, and they're not trying to give her a bond, is because that she had a case, and it was basically a child abuse case, because her boyfriend had abused her son, and she did not report it to the police until 3 days after the incident. I think it was something far as like he was the boyfriend had whipped him behind a restroom or something like that, by using a restroom, and he beat him so badly to the point where it left bruises and some other type of graphic details and stuff like that to him. And then she did not report it, far as like take him to the doctor or anything like that, until 3 days after. And that's just really sickening, especially as a mom. Like, you sit up there and you allow this man that's not even related to you, just a man you laying up to abuse your son, and then you don't even say nothing till 3 days later. So yes, that is a form of neglect also, because your son could have honestly died or had worse issues that could have caused him health issues in the long term. So what do you guys think about that? Do you trust these credit repair people? I always thought it was fishy. Like I said, friends say, you be having people, Lil Pookie them, and you know what I'm saying, Laquanetta coming out the woodwork talking about, let me get your credit. Girl, I'm not even fit to give you. When I start hitting me up, I'll be like, call 911. You better off calling 911 than me. So, okay. So, do y'all agree French Montana say it's crazy for record labels to have life insurance policy on the rappers? You're paying or making millions on his debt. And then this is what he says.
And that's when I realized, too much beefing. And we was beefing for real. Like, people was like dying and this and that. And they're just like, it was blocking a lot of money. People don't want to touch you. You know what I'm saying? Your rap friends, somebody gets shot, your rap friends stop picking up, the label stop picking up. Nah, it gets crazy. You know what I'm saying? It gets crazy. But now it's even crazier because they getting life insurance on artists. At least back then we didn't have that.
Somebody told me that shit.
Yeah.
Is a label signing an artist in good faith if you're taking a life insurance out on him?
Nah, you're praying on his death. You're praying on making millions on his death.
Or are they being realistic though?
Both. They're being realistic, and then you're supposed to have life. You know what I'm saying? Life insurance anyway. But when the label does it, if you don't have one, that's crazy. And that's when I realized, too much beefing, and we was.
Okay, so basically, if you could not understand everything French Montana was saying, he was basically putting it out there that the record labels are signing these artists, these hardcore artists that's rapping about, killing and gang and all this type of stuff. They're signing them, and once they signing them, they're putting a life insurance policy out on them, like a part of their contract. And he was basically saying like how that's not right. Like, you're planning on making millions if something happened to me and die. Now, to be honest with you, what do you guys think about that? Do you feel like DJ Academic was saying, like, do you feel like that's still a that's really how the business go? Do you feel like that's a good thing? Because at the end of the day, you should have life insurance. It is really sickening to me when you go on social media, especially social media, because I ain't even gonna say these celebrities, that's the fake behind image that they have to portray. But when I go on these social media and you have these idiots, and no shade, no teeth for anybody who have ever got caught up in a crossfire of that or whatever, or still living his life. Hey, want to come before destruction. But you have these people that literally sit out here and post up all this money and post up all these designers and stuff like that, and they be clean the toe. And then next thing you know, something happened to them and they got a GoFundMe account. The family don't know where to come up with the money from. Now, I be wanting to say, no, where was the money he was flashing on social media? Where was the money that he was doing live with? Where was the money when he was consistently sitting over here popping bottles at the strip clubs and stuff like that? So you telling me now you don't even know how to bury him? Y'all don't even know he didn't leave y'all nothing and stuff like that. And I know in the Black community, that's the last thing that we want to sit up here and do is put out a life insurance policy on a loved one. But you do have to be realistic, especially in the time that they're living. I mean, not even trying to be funny. I even, looked into getting a policy out on me, because regardless of the fact, stuff does happen. And you definitely don't want to, if you have kids and stuff like that, you definitely want to leave something behind for them. Half of people ain't even doing nothing while they're here. So at least, like be able to set up some type of funds where they can recuperate, or just even pay them back for all the times that you did, they had to do something, you didn't have it. But what do you guys think about that? Do you feel like that's wrong for the record label to have a life insurance policy on them, or do you feel like that's very smart? And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's very smart. I mean, it sounds grimy, but let's just keep it real. The record label is in to make money. They don't care about these rappers and stuff like that, because truly, not trying to be funny, they not even letting y'all out y'all contract. When they can sign you for $1 million, they give you half of that up front. And then next thing you know, they make over $8 or $10 million and won't even let you out your contract, or won't even let you allow you to, buy your way out the country, because you're a money machine to them. They don't care about your personal life. And the most dangerous, and when you start rapping about killing and getting all into this beef and stuff like that, all they thinking about it's still a win-win for them. They got all your publishing and rights. And on top of that, they can still turn around and something do happen to you. They still gonna make some type of money. And then you have these fans that's gonna support you even harder after you pass away, and the money ain't going to none of your families and stuff like that. It's going straight to the labels. So yeah, it's a win-win for them. That's the reason why that's the reason why I feel like that you, the people, the rapper, the artist or whatever, need to put that money in you, period. You need to get the policy out. Change the narrative. So what do you guys think about that? Do you feel like that is the right thing to do? Do you feel like the record label should do it, or do you feel like at the end of the day, no, that solely should be up to the artist? So let's get into this story about a couple says the groom, like I guess his wedding party has spiked his drink before. How some people have shots and stuff like that before the wedding. Let's get into and see what this story is about.
His bride is walking down the aisle, and the groom can't stop crying. He's bawling his eyes out. Bride Brandy can't believe what she's seeing.
I stopped midway down the aisle just because, I seen his face, and I just seen him lose control and just sob. And it was almost like a shock to me because I had never seen him cry like that.
Brandy knew it was not just about the emotion of the day.
I remember one part of the wedding looking into Billy's eyes and he couldn't stop crying. But I had fear in my eyes.
But that wasn't all.
The preacher guy looked the same exact way.
The family friend performing the wedding ceremony was acting way off too. Brandy thought she was in the Twilight Zone.
I had to put the flowers over my face and whisper to him, I'm now pronounce them Mr. and Mrs. Engel, you may kiss the bride. It's like he forgot what to say.
Turns out both the groom, Billy Engel, and their friend who was ordained to perform the ceremony had both sipped from the same glass.
Are you 100% certain that his drink was spiked?
We are 100% sure that his drink was spiked because what was the giveaway? First off, like the first clue was that he couldn't remember anything.
A drug test later confirmed that Billy had consumed Adderall pills, possibly as many as 10, which are used to treat attention deficit disorder. Somebody had spiked his drink.
But I just don't really remember nothing about it. For 4 days, I couldn't quit crying. That was it.
This was your wedding. Who would do such a thing? Who would drug your husband at your wedding?
We kind of ask ourselves the same thing over and over.
The newlyweds who live in Richmond, Kentucky, do not believe the guest who did it meant to ruin their wedding, but his bride is walking down the...
Okay, so, oh my goodness. So basically, first of all, why is him in the preacher or whatever, the man who's supposed to be doing the ceremony, why is y'all drinking out the same cup? That was the first red flag. Like, why are y'all drinking out the same cup? Okay, and then on top of that, a lot of people, it's funny because I was reading the story and reading the comments because I like to look at what people say, different people have to say. And a lot of people didn't believe the story. They feel like that it could have been something else that went on, or he could have just had like a wild night before, or he could have got cold feet and started drinking and stuff like that, and one thing led to another. But they saying it's all cap. I mean, what do you guys think? If that is truly true, because not trying to be funny, it's kind of like they're like, oh, the guest spiked the drink. But if the guest spiked the drink, then why is it only your husband and the pastor acting like that? The man who's doing ordained the marriage acting like that versus the people that actually spiked the drink. Well, no, I'm just saying, I don't know. It's weird, but let's just play devil advocate. If that's something that happened without his consent and he didn't know nothing about it, for as he wasn't aware that it was like, the drink was spiked, I really do feel like that's a horrible thing because I mean, luckily that's the only thing he was doing was crying and very emotional because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not as bad as him being belligerent and sloppy and falling down, but that is very sad because it's like nobody has the time, the money to basically do a whole new do-over when it comes down to a wedding. So you definitely want your spouse to be alerted and can say that they remember the event. Like he don't remember the event. He said that he literally was at her for 4 days. And it's like, and people's like, well, why he not telling the story? He can't tell the story because he was full of them drugs and he like, hey, I don't know. They know better than me. So what do you guys think? Are you believing the story? Do you feel like that he just saying it? Or do you feel like, at the end of the day, it's all cap? You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like that can't be possible. It's more to the story. Okay, so this is going to be the last one. And it says, I do not correct my husband. I give him my perspective. I desire to honor and respect him. Okay, let's listen to what this lady has to say.
Well, I had to learn this. I do not correct my husband. I believe that it is my responsibility to have the confidence to give him my perspective. Then we can talk about it and he can self-correct. I love him so much and I desire to honor and respect him. And I married him, so I would assume that he wants me to feel the same exact way. To take my perspective into high consideration with his actions. But I married a grown man. I'm not going to be disrespectful and talk to him like a child. Well, I had to learn that.
Okay, so what do you guys think about that? Let me see. Look, I do not care. Okay, it's like I respect the designer. I do believe that. First of all, marriage is a sacred thing. I am a single woman, but at the end of the day, whenever I do decide to settle down, that's the level of respect that I should have for my husband. But it's definitely mutual. I do think that you both have to be understanding to understand that sometimes you need to be corrected. Now, it's the way, it's the tone that you correct, or you just basically put a person out there. I don't think that it's disrespectful to disagree with your husband and say something or feel like a certain type of way, like, hey, I don't feel that same way. I love a little good debate, you know what I'm saying? And I love, and it's not me being combative when it comes down to my mate, but if I'm wrong, or if we having a discussion about something, I want him to be able to be like, well, this is how I feel, and you know what I'm saying, or this is the reason why this is and that. Give me different reasons to, or give me your perspective on stuff. And then I'm very logical. If it makes sense, then I'm all for it. But I'm not gonna lie, I think any woman or marriage or any type of relationship you in, you want to desire to honor and respect your mate. Like it's definitely but when it comes down to correcting, it's the way you correct. Like I understand, that could be a trigger thing for a man, a woman that's always nagging or just being combative and no, I don't want to hear it. But I do feel like that you should never feel not comfortable enough to sit up here and look at your man and stand on what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can sit be like, okay, babe, you know what I'm saying? But you're wrong, or or I don't agree with that. And that should not be something looked at as being disrespectful. I don't know. What's y'all opinion? What's your opinion? Do you feel like that would you want your mate correcting you, or would you feel like, no, that's a little too much, that's a little too muscular. That's too, you know what I'm saying, too much. I don't want my woman to do that. I do believe that you should not clown or embarrass or try to be combative with your mate in public. Like, I can't stand when couples argue in public. Like, even if I feel like my mate is wrong or he shouldn't have said nothing, I'm not gonna sit up here and correct him in front of all these people. But I'm definitely going to, when we get along, I'm gonna let him know how I feel. But that's none of nobody else's business of how I feel and what I stand on when it come down to him. Because I said what I said, and I want you to take it serious. So before I get out here and try to embarrass you in public, I'd rather just come to you and talk to you and let you know exactly how I feel, so it can be more sincere and you can probably receive it better. But okay. So what you guys think about any other topics that was going on that I talked about? Please, you know what I'm saying, leave your comment, leave a review, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I will really appreciate it. Mwah! You guys will hear from you next time. Bye.